Let's first start with your background and how long have you been teaching, and just basically tell us who you are and what you teach.
Okay, so I have been teaching. This is my 16th year in education. I taught fourth grade for 8 years at Tillis Elementary in Fort Smith. And then I was a facilitator for 3 years, but I really missed having a classroom of kids. And so I decided to go back to the classroom. And then I have been at Orr for about 6 years now in fourth and fifth grade literacy. So overall, 16 years, all in the area of literacy and social studies. So it's been really, really neat to see how things have progressed and changed over the years, but I really enjoy it.
And that's the thing is you almost have to change almost every year just to keep up with the times.
Yes, that's not a lie. And even just this year, our standards changed. So everything that I had done last year, I have to look at it through a different lens to make sure I'm hitting the new standards. So every year is different.
Tell me about the process of this teacher of the year thing. I know you earned it for the for Fort Smith schools. So what is this process? That do you have to do anything, or is it just come to you?
Oh, yes. So the district one was actually a nomination. So I was nominated by Dawn Childress. She's my principal. And I just had to submit a video kind of explaining why I became a teacher. And that's all I did for the Fort Smith one. And then they surprised me at school last spring, and my students were just so excited. They knew kind of before I did because I was just standing there trying to figure it all out. So after that, they told me that it was suggested that I apply for the state level. And so there were about 5 essays that I had to write. I had to have 3 letters of recommendation. I had to have a platform, and then I had to have a video just explaining an impact that I had made in my classes. And so then I submitted that back in June 9th. And then midsummer, they let me know that they had picked the regional winners. And so they told us that they were going to honor the regional winners at the governor's mansion. And so we went for a brunch and a ceremony there. And that's where they picked the 4 semifinalists. Was that morning is when we found out. And of course, I was the last name called as a semifinalist. So I thought for sure that it was not me. And then I happened to glance up and see the plaque that the lady was holding. And I saw my last name. And I think I squeezed my husband's hand so hard because I was like, it's me, they picked me. So they've been using the same application that I submitted back in June. And then last week they came and 5 people in education did an observation in my classroom last Thursday. And then they interviewed me and Dr. Childress again. And then I interviewed with all of the people at the State Department back in July. And then I did a video there as well. So there's been a lot of videos, a lot of interviews, and then they got to see me teach last week.
So what would it mean for you and your school and your class and your students for you to win this?
Well, I think what it would mean to me is that I can make a difference outside of just my classroom and just my school, because they know me really well and we observe each other all the time, and we try to learn from each other and take things that we can take back to our own classrooms. So if I were able to do that on a larger scale, I could impact so many more kids through their teachers. So I feel like it would just help. And that's what I want to do. I love helping kids be successful. So getting to do that on a larger scale is pretty awesome. As for my school, I adore our staff. We are like the closest team. We help each other. We learn from each other. I do all of the hard stuff with them.
Mhm.
It is not a one-on-one thing. So I could not have gotten even as far as I have without my team, because they support me and we feed off of each other. So I think letting people see just what a great school we are would just be awesome, because I can highlight my school a little bit too.
So is there a responsibility if you get picked, or do you travel around the state? What do you get to do? What are the opportunities that you would get with this?
So, if I win, they would put me on a year-long sabbatical starting next July. And so I would be out of the classroom for a year. Obviously, my job would be held for me. I'd get to come back, but they would take me around the state and let me talk with other teachers in the state, do some observations, do some professional developments. I did already have a few people ask me about doing a professional development on classroom management after they watched me teach last week. So it's really neat just to see what I could offer, because I teach just how I think I'm supposed to teach. And so it's really neat getting to hear from people, oh, we need you to do a professional development on this. So it's kind of humbling to me to think, oh, they think that highly of what I'm doing. But so yeah, I would just go around the state and speak and do professional developments and help teachers. So,
When do you find out?
well, they told us that it could be beginning of October before they make the announcement. I did go and kind of stalk their Facebook a little bit to see. Last year it was October 14th. But they finished observations of the 4 finalists yesterday. So I'm hoping that they're trying to speed up the process this year, because the national application is due pretty quickly after that. So they want the state person to apply for the national level. So I think they're trying to speed it up this year. So hopefully soon, but I'm not sure.
Congratulations. Best of
Thank
luck
you.
whenever the decision comes down.
I'm proud either way. One way I get to stay and teach kids, which is what I love to do, and one way I get to help educators help their kids. So it's a win-win.